So, Doc, I want more will go on the agenda so that as well we don't make and clear to our people, we get problems back home and we not go shy for discuss them. We get this fighting will be happen for Mankon, for Bamenda side, where they kill a fighter, they capture some fighters, and the group will perpetrate this killing and the capture of fighters. Now the ADF, now Choya by group, and Capo Daniel, Asu Lucas, and all these people them, they go out there try for whitewash the truth. But if we not get to the root of what happened, if we not educate our people, this thing get the capacity for derail our struggle. Because if this internecine fighting no be addressed, if the people they don't know, and the people the way they talk to these groups, may they tell them, or may they realize, say, as they try to legitimize these groups, they are actually building a time bomb where go sink we. And when we sink, La Republique will just put cover for that pot. Then we go address this issue of the women then for Oku. Because that, again, we no one look at the root cause, the misgivings, the misunderstandings in the community. We want to call a dog a bad name and hang him and whitewash him because Chris Ann would use a platform for that purpose. We get to address what's going on in Oku and what to be happened and what is the truth. It may be inconvenient, but we have to address it. And then we get a security alert for our fighters. We don't get some information where we want to share them with our fighters, we want to share them with our public. What Yaoundé they do as far as the security of our fighters and our people be concerned. So, Doc, now the three very important things in that way we get on our schedule today. And if you be okay, we'll go then start with this internecine fighting. I know so you be aware of them, but if you want to do them, that's fine. If you want me to bring our people up to speed before we start the discussion.
To bring them up to speed and more tell what people say when they start. This is the beginning of a process because it will take we several weeks to bring out all of these things. And the reason we're doing all of these things is also because our people must really, there is one thing that we can control. We can control what we bring to the table. We cannot control what La Republique is going to do, but we can force them to react to what we do, and we must sort out these internal wranglings and then sort out all of these things the way because and by so doing, after today, the other thing will go come next week, and there's a big program. I know you'll probably announce it, three on this same process. Now, this idea of people trying to say we own camps and then setting up stuff because there's a lot of information and the whole process back there that will come. I know probably you will make mention of that too. So if you go ahead, just share the whatever you have, and then we can comment.
No, Doc, we will talk them now, and we'll go remind our listeners at the end of the show. Say next Sunday, as well you talk, Doc, we'll go continue with this series of misdeeds, and we get some serious problem on our hands from the diaspora, where some people in the diaspora they actually work to dismantle this unity effort by our fighters on the ground. They continue to dig the divide for their own selfish purpose, and they manipulate our people. So yes, we will continue, and may we tell our fighters if they fit, for security reasons, follow our program next Sunday. We go post them. It go there on SCBC Facebook page. We go post them on our YouTube page. Make we share them with our fighters this next Sunday. And the third part of this program today, we discuss with some of our people them, and they say when we finish this program today, may we segment that last part on this security alert so that they go fit share them with our fighters. But this first thing about what did go on with this fighting inside Mankon, where Efang commode Momo with the fighters, they come attack New Jerusalem. They kill one fighter, shoot another one for a foot. They then take 4 captives, and these 4 fighters, where they take them with their material, they still there with ADF group for Momo. And we know say ADF, they always come out, cry, complain whenever they get trouble with ARF and they capture their own fighters. But instead of them addressing them, now they quiet because now them they don't go attack a group for Mankon. So we just want to give our people a background of this group, the Mankon Warriors. So for 2017, and Doc, feel free for chipping if I miss anything. For 2017, when La République start this armed struggle, like all communities in southern Cameroon, our young fighters them for inside Mankon, they be respond, and the Mankon Security Council, they be create the Mankon Warriors, and their first general be Ngang Arab. You know, then they don't get Lion, Thunder, and a few others. So these Mankon Warriors, they be a big group inside that Mankon area, inside Bamenda. And as the group, the big, they can now create this Butabum Kwifo, where the first general will be General Trouble, and then they get Caesar. Now, some miscreants, some criminals, some other fighters them or criminals, thugs, they be come out barefoot. We know that from barefoot. They be use that Ntahkah Mankon Road for enter inside town, commit atrocities, including kidnapping. So Mankon Warriors, they be see and say, this is a problem coming from barefoot people. They be come out barefoot, come kidnap, go back, or even put the inside Mankon where they be kidnapped. They be get from their camp inside bush somewhere for barefoot. So they decide say they go create a group where they call and say New Jerusalem, put them for block that entrance, you know, around that Ntahkah Mankon roadway group. They be come out, can commit atrocities because the community be complain. So when they create this new Jerusalem, they make late Cross and Die the leader of that group. When they be install New Jerusalem, they be invite groups them from Bafut. They be invite ADF of Allah Bukam. They come for the installation of Cross and Die for that New Jerusalem group. All this under the Mankon Warriors. There was no problem there. The guys, they be come with their material. They be come with their boys. They be give them their chop money. They be give them their sticks. They give them everything. Now, as where that group start, they become stronger and stronger, as where power, they enter some people their head, confusion, they enter people their head, boys and now they start go do what they do. They start shift away from the focus. Cross and Die become belligerent. Cross and Die itself, where they be create New Jerusalem, Mankon Warriors, Puti for stop all that kidnapping and all that misdeeds, then where they be happen, they didn't enter his own head. So itself, Cross and Die, it become a problem. It take over the same thing where they be telling, as well some people they take over what La République they do. And it stop for the take orders or listen or work with Mankon Warriors. Instead recruit his own fighters. And one of the people then where he be recruit and other fighters be being a pastor. Pastor be done fight with ADF. He be done they under ADF. Cross and Die recruiting. Remember say they be kill Cross and Die. Now then we go rob a bank for Bamenda Day. Now the person that. So as we Cross and Die now, you need to listen to Mankon Warriors. You need to listen to the people then where they be give you material, give you fighters, settle for that new post. They can't talk for a head. He go join ADF, which is fine. If you want to join ADF, there's nothing wrong with that. You get your reason. But no be ADF, they become equipping a Mankon, if it be under Mankon Warriors. Let's get that very clear. They go create a camp, Ntahkah Mankon Road, New Jerusalem. They put it there. After that, he need to listen to the group again. He bring your own body, he bring pastor. They can't talk for you, he go join ADF. He put out a video where he pledged allegiance to ADF with the boys and the material where they be give from Mankon. 1 month after that, La République kill Cross and Die. So as well La République kill Cross and Die now, that group, New Jerusalem, without their leader, pastor take over, because pastor will be second in command. Pastor way Cross and Die be recruit. The group now divide. Someone then say they want go back, go join the original group Mankon Warriors. Someone then say they want go join ADF. Pastor take people then they go say me they go join ADF. As well they go join ADF now, ADF then decide now say they go can't suppress that group because that group now need to pledge allegiance to them. Now for the F and Komot, you go for Mbachungwa. You go camp for Bachungwa camp. They plan how they go invade this second part of New Jerusalem. They go take their material. Material where no be ADF be give them. They be create them, they be give them their material. They be get their guns. When Pastor and your own group, they be go join ADF, they be go with their material. They be there for Mankon. So they come out now, as well they did for that camp, Sunday for 3 a.m. for morning. That was when they launched their offensive. They invade Ntahkah for 3 a.m. Now Cobra for ADF, they lead that operation. As well they go fight, so they kill one of the Mankon boy, the fighters. They shoot someone for a foot. They capture 4 of them and they seize their material. Take them, go back. Those boys are still there. Now, Mankon Security Council and the Mankon Warriors, they don't make all attempts to get in touch with Cho Ayaba to discuss this problem. He don't decline any communication with them. I guess because now he did in favor say F and Cobra, they don't go dismantle this section of New Jerusalem where they deny for join pastor, say may they go fight under ADF. They decide say they want to go back for new warriors where they create that group as where they kill, cross and die. Now, Kapo Komo talk say they kill these boys then because they be get guns, they be commit atrocities. As you look at Stocky owner say they go dismantle them, they go kill them because now them be do kidnapping. Then their so-called war council chairman, he can talk owner say they will be breakaway fighters from ADF and they will want to bring them under control. Those 4 fighters where they arrest, they still they with ADF and they be get their material. This happened in Mankon. So when I hear them talk say they want to bring tribalism, it's not tribalism. Efang be there for Insta Momo. We be see no pity. He be there from Goki Tunjia. When he be want enter Bui, we be see meeting where the generals will be there. We talk say they be done the fight with he. He meet with the generals. He know say okay, he the enter Bui, he has to meet with the fighters there for may they acknowledge he coming. It's done in modern military. If you're a military person, you enter another country. The first thing as a military person, you have to report to the authorities in that country. Who you are, your rank, where you're from, what country. It is done. It is standard operating procedure in the military. So for Efang and Cobra, then for Komod Momo, go attack a group of Mankon, where Mankon Warriors and they Mankon Security Council and they where they for you go talk to them about the problems going on and settle this thing. They decide to go attack them for 3 a.m. They go camp for Mbachungwa Day, and then attack for 3 a.m. So one will people them for know exactly what happened, and we call on the ADF on Cho Ayaba and Bennett Dikwa and Kapo them where they make a lot of noise. Asu Lucas, make we not force people them to operate under Wuna. We not claim say kidnapping where Wuna say self. Allah Bukan camp was dismantled because of kidnapping. The people of Mankon, the Mankon Security Council, the Mankon Warriors, they be look into the problem. If there's a problem, we'll not go whole meeting, we'll not talk about this kidnapping thing where all we be against. Nobody say we'll not go ambush people them at 3 a.m. for morning, claim say now we're not material. It was not we're not materials. Now Mankon Security Council be create that group. Now Mankon Security Council be arm them. Now Mankon Security Council be create new warriors. Those guys, them now new warriors be create that New Jerusalem camp. Put them for there. So yes, Cross and Die go out of control. But Cross and Die is dead. That is the story of the past. No, we'll talk about which they go on now. We don't want this internecine fighting because of power. You know, if you force people then for come fight, pay allegiance to you, and when they deny, when I go attack them, and then when Sako your own group do and for Bui, when I be the first people then for kick and scream and cry and cry and weep and make the whole world think say what Sako they do is worse than what La Republic they do. Where when I turn around now they do the same thing, and then when I all over social media they mislead people. If this thing is not solved, The Mankon Warriors, they will do what they have to do to defend themselves and get their fighters released. Doc, I don't try to give our people a background if you want to talk about them.
Yes, Otto, I mean, any person when they hear this thing, they get very, very gut-wrenching. Because at the end of the day, you ask yourself, what are the so-called leaders? What is their role? Is their role just to come on public TV, on TV or social media and make noise and take credit? As I've always said, if you have, as a leader, you have to be accountable for all your actions, both your successes and your failures, both your heroes and your villains. And so you cannot really, that's the one thing that really annoys me. At this point, yes, Ambazonia, my hope is that you get back to a point where every warrior of Ambazonia go fight inside Ambazonia, just like they will eventually have to live inside Ambazonia, on the position of, in a location of their choice. But we cannot really have this. It makes a whole mockery of what you would try for, accomplish, what you would fight for, when a group disagree with you, and then the real, and then your answer is, to go kill that person, or to go catch those people, then take them, attack them. And especially when the whole genesis of the problem, it was about kidnapping of our people, where in the first instance, that is one of the biggest source of our problems. I think we make a big argument now that the biggest problem we have in Amazonia now is not even La Republique. If all of us, if they can clean house, if we can clean house, and make our people again begin to believe and begin to understand that the people with the guns have the guns to protect them, and that they don't have the guns in order to oppress them, that they are not using those weapons as another source of power, just like the Republic is using them to oppress them. If we can make our people understand this, if we can then have a system whereby every fighter, when they fight, they look left, they look right, they think now about the La Republique or the enemy, but they also struggle now for protect itself against the own against the own comrades. If we cannot do this and clean this house, then what are we fighting for? So I say, look, it is time, for I don't necessarily know whether Cho Ayaba is actually ordering this. If you are not, come out, call these people out. When you hear three people and they have three different stories, one is we went to actually bring some soldiers our own soldiers under control. And then the other one is, we went to reclaim our material. And I think the third story is
they went to stop kidnapping.
Yeah, they went to stop kidnapping. Yet we are seeing the kidnapping. Yet, the likes of couple would come on air and actually show people videos of people who they have kidnapped, and they tell you that they are taking ransom and or whatnot, or maybe war draft or whatever nonsense that they are calling. The messages is so mixed. This is why at the international community level, everybody that you talk to at that level is, you people have got to show me a reason to be able to support you. Tibo Nash was just recently in Alabama at a meeting in Alabama, and this is the same messages that he was actually telling us, guys. You got to stay. You got to show the people a message, both by your action and inaction. Both by your action and your words. Show the people, the international community, the reason to really stand behind you, and that would mean. The people, I don't always believe it, when you talk about coming together. Again, we're not talking together about coming together behind one leader, as maybe North Korea, where everybody go kiss the ring, or maybe and talk to them about dear leader. No, we are saying there is something, there is an ideal. Southern Cameroon's Ambazonia is an ideal. That ideal, there is some communality, there's some areas of commonality that we must have to agree. But everybody has to agree that kidnapping has to stop. Everybody has to agree that killing the fighters, people claiming that they have fighters. The fighters are not cattle. Fighters are not cows. Fighters are not goats. You don't own them. Every good leader, where he did for this revolution, where he talk about these guys, you've got to actually think through and say, if you not use this speaking, them are like pawns on the chessboard, right? You have to actually just make sure whoever they are fighting for, there have got to be a set of commonalities and they are fighting for the flag. Here is where I would say our leaders or the so-called leaders of the different factions, because I don't call them our leaders, the leaders of the different factions, you are failing. But at the same time, let me say, for Pidgin, the dog say, where to do cocoa, now you go do coffee or something like that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're very used to saying that in Pidgin. And, you know, Cross and I will probably not be, will probably be alive if Mankon Warrior had stayed the same. If Mankon Warrior had stayed united and who knows whether, you know, that fighting that led to his breaking away, that he didn't really like, it was not somebody else who actually sold him over to get the secret
Exactly.
his location, and then he was killed. Yes. Why did these people, why does Efang and Co or whoever and whoever is fighting, why do these people think that if they go catch these 4 young men, if this young man has families, right? These young men that are under their keeping have family. The one they killed also has a family. He also has friends, right? What do you think those people are going to do to you, right? If they see La République, even if they don't like La République, they probably would set you up so La République can eliminate you, because it also may give them an advantage.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So this is really the stupidity I have not been able to understand. And I'm really indignant about the whole nonsense, you know, and I can understand what happens with young men who have a weapon in their hands. One young man who have for 5 years have not actually been, they've been sleeping in the bushes and all of the things and terrible things that have been happening to them. But the point I cannot understand is these guys in the diaspora, okay? You are sitting back and then you are lying here, sitting here, and then you are using these children who are actually, or these young men and women, let me not call them children, they are brave young men and women who are actually, who have committed their lives to fighting our liberation. You are using them this. I mean, what is the, I mean, I think if there is a hell, then the worst place in hell would be for people like this who send these men into combat only to set them up to be killed. I mean, that's really what I would, that is really my annoyance. And if these people say, no, we didn't do it, please come out and call these things out. Come out and stop this nonsense.
That's what I was going to say, that, you know, there are people out there who get emotional, they get sentimental. Once you call out something of a group, or they believe in Ayaba, they believe in ADF, they believe AGOPC, they drift away from the facts and they start going personal with insults and they don't want to hear anything, and your haters and your La République, and they call you all sorts of names. Let us, for once, have some maturity and let us talk about the facts. Forget about the name of the group. Forget about whoever you worship as the leader of your group. Let us talk about the facts. Because when this thing happened, the first thing these guys, after the attack, Efang them and Cobra, the first thing they did, they sent the information and the details to Capo and to their ADF so-called command, and they now took the next step of doing the misinformation and propaganda to cover their behinds. So you are right, Doc. If they think that what we have said is not true, because the Mankon Warriors, the Mankon Security Councils have tried to reach out to their leader of that group, that faction, Cho Ayaba. He does not want to talk to them. Of course, Capo and Asu Lucas, they will not talk to them. I don't even know if they have any power to change anything. But let us talk about the facts. Let them say that it was not Mankon Warriors who created New Jerusalem and put them at that post. If Cross and Die was not equipped by Mankon Warriors and that they had their materials, if when Cross and Die joined ADF, if they didn't come with materials, and during the splitting of the group, if some guys didn't want to go back to Warriors and the group, if they can dispute these facts, let us focus on the facts. And let them tell us that ADF, Efang, and Cobra did not attack those guys and did not kill a fighter, and that they don't have those guys in captivity. Forget about all this justification of, they were kidnapping, we went to get our material, we went to bring our boys. You don't bring your whom you claim are your boys under your command by attacking them at 3 a.m. Sunday morning. You go and lay siege and ambush them, and you say you're bringing under your command. The guys don't want to be there. The guys are in captivity under Efang. And the guys need to be released. As you said, these are people's children. As a matter of fact, I think in one of our shows, we're going to show some footage of some of these same people in the diaspora who are using a little money to deceive our fighters on the ground and send them to go and do a complete BS that has nothing to do with the struggle. We're going to show pictures of them, the life they are living with their families, with their children in the diaspora, the vacations they go on. We're going to show, because this is family, this is personal. We didn't want to bring it, but things are getting to the point where we have to start showing these our children in the bushes. They were picking them for bush where they did die, where people they should for diaspora, fool them, for go kill other picking them. They kill this picking for Mankon. They shoot someone. 4 of them now they for inside one of their prison cells, for inside Momode, for no reason. Yet the people, the way they send them, they for white man country with their picking them in peace. They go vacation. They carry their picking them for their chests. They swim. They do all kinds of things. The way you know go believe in a put in this way. They claim say their mind, heart, and soul is in the struggle, but they live in this world like say there is no tomorrow. We go show una.
Right.
So that when you know, talk, no one know say we know what you will talk about because we did diaspora with them. Go ahead, Doc, and then we'll go to the next.
No, I was just saying that if the person who says it's a very noble objective to say we are trying to stop kidnapping on the part of the people on the ground, and if that's what you are trying to do, kudos to you. But give me a reason to believe that you are trying to stop kidnapping when the people who are bringing out these same stories, they are showing you that they can kidnap teachers, right, of special needs children. When they are showing you that they kidnap somebody in the very, very lowest ranks of the calm water, and they put out all these videos as if this was a badge of honor, as if they have accomplished something very great. I mean, these stories don't add up. And even if you were going to stop kidnapping, stop kidnapping, and what did you have to kill that young man in order to stop them from stopping kidnapping? I don't think so. What about the 4 that are in your custody? What are you doing with them, right? And then why would somebody else come up and make up another story and say, no, we were just disciplining our troops, and then the other person will say we were going to reclaim our material? How much is that material worth? A life? And when you
dog
Warriors and the Mankon Warriors who actually have this, why don't you sit down if you dispute and say we have not reached out to that the Mankon Warriors have not reached out to us to actually sit down and talk? Then we'll bring you the evidence that they have actually sat down to you, they have actually reached out to you, and you cannot, and you don't want to talk. If you don't want to talk, what else are you hiding?
Well, Doc, when people are trying to make stuff up and lie and misinform and misrepresent, they're all over the place with the story. You know, nothing is consistent. That's why we are getting all kinds. You know, they're just looking for something, right? And again, we want to be objective. We want to stay on the facts, right? The Mankon Warriors, the Mankon Security Council, they are willing to meet and talk with the ADF. The ADF are not responding to their invitations because they have these people. All we are telling ADF is meet with the Mankon Warriors, meet with the Mankon Security Council, iron this thing out, let this thing not degenerate, because they also have the capacity of raising money and arming themselves and coming after you guys. This is Southern Cameroon struggle. This is not about AGOVC, ADF, Ayaba Mankon, or the Mankon people. No. We want this thing to be solved, and that's why we are telling Southern Cameroonians to know the truth and get involved and let us diffuse this situation. ADF needs to release those fighters. Let them go back and let their own chain of command take care of their own problems. The Nkwifos, the Mankon Warriors, the Security Council, they have their own chain of command. They don't have to subordinate themselves to ADF. No, they are not members of ADF. Let them take care of their own command. Let Efang deal with his own situation and not try to be that. Because what happened? A few days after they went and disarmed these boys, a few days after they killed one of them, a few days after they arrested them, there was fighting. La République saw an opening, and people began to question, is this a coordinated thing, to go in and weaken Bamenda? Is it a coincidence? Is it coordinated? These are the questions people begin to ask. So we are going to come back to this story. We are going to stay on top of it because it is causing a problem. But